Ooh, so my countdown to Cult of Chucky continues. Now we are on to the Bride of Chucky. And by that all being said, there's going to be some spoilers mentioned in this review. That is your warning. So, yeah. Anyway, um, I didn't even know that this movie was coming out until I was watching TV and then I saw the trailer. I was like, what? Like, Chucky's back. What? So everything hit me at once. Like Chucky, not only that Chucky is back, but now he has, he has a companion with him now, and that's where Bride of Chucky comes in. But if I just heard that there's gonna be a new Chucky movie made, and this time he's gonna have a bride, just hearing those words would make me go like, what? Huh? But just seeing the trailer, where like that was like my basically my notification that this movie was coming out, and seeing Chucky there and all of his glory, and seeing Tiffany there, and it's like, this looks like it could be very interesting, and that's where it sort of it kind of brought back the dark tone from the first movie. I mean, sort of. It was a dark movie. It was a darker movie than, Child's Play 2 and 3. Definitely a darker movie than that. So this is the first dark, movie in the franchise since the first one. And so and what really made me chuckle is in the opening scene, like where there's like an evidence locker, and then the cop comes to grab Chucky's remains, and then we see evidence from other horror icons such as Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and I think Leatherface. I think I saw a chainsaw in there, and like, what? Like, why are you stroking the egos of horror fans? I mean, like, making them think that there's gonna be that they all share the same universe and there's gonna be a crossover coming. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought it was pretty cool, and it made me chuckle. Like, why did they throw that in there? Why did they throw that stuff in there? But yeah, I mean, like, this movie wasn't pretty interesting, and him, like, the dynamic between him and Tiffany, I actually could buy into it. Where it's like, you figured, like, being with Chucky, like, it's not gonna be where it's all, I guess, where it's all roses and candy or whatever, or flowers and candy or whatnot. I mean, like, she's gonna get tired of him at some point too. And then I think it got to that point where, Chucky's had enough of her shit and basically puts her in his shoes. And now she's a doll. And then they're basically on a quest to go to Chucky's grave, like Charles Lee Ray, to get that amulet to basically transfer their souls from the dolls into the couple into this poor young couple who are road tripping there just to get money. And basically, Tiffany basically, kind of, tricked them into going on this trip. And along the way, they become murder suspects while Chucky's on Chucky's killing spree. Like, who Chucky's killing, everybody who's like the cop and the girl's uncle who've gotten in their way. Chucky took them out, and now they're like murder suspects all the way through. And it's like it's leaving a trail, and it's like, what? and in that moment, like where Chucky proposes to Tiffany, and then they end up, that scene. Some people were freaked out, and some people were laughing, and some people were just like, what the fuck? I was just like, yeah. just seeing that. But anyway, like, probably my favorite death scene in the movie is when their gay best friend, catches up with them, and it's getting to that point where he finds the uncle, Jade's uncle's body, like played by John Ritter, and then he thinks like, oh my god, they are really killers, and then he sees that Chucky and Tiffany are actually alive, and then I mean, like, you think like that's the same doll from the murders, like, does that not add up? And then there's a trail of dead bodies with you know, with them, with, you know, connected to that van, and the doll that is connected to the murders years, like 10 years ago. Does anybody not think that? But anyway, you know, like, the gay best friend sees that, you know, the dolls are alive, and then he runs out into the highway, shocked as ever, like, what? And then this truck yeah, the truck just, man, he just demolishes him. Like, the way that was done was beautiful. I mean, the effects of that was like, even to this day, I'm like, what? And it's like almost 20 years later when that movie came out, it's just like, wow. And then it gets to that point where we see that Tiffany does have some humanity in her, and where you would think, is she worse than Chucky? I'd say she's not. I mean, I think Chucky, in the end, Chucky is more psychotic. But, and then she, you know, like, right at the last second, she turns against him. And then they turn against each other, and he proceeds to kill her. And then that's where he gets killed off in the most bullshit way. You know, just being shot up in the torso. But I love that line that he gives where he said, go ahead and shoot. I'll be back. I always come back. And then he just sighs and says, but dying is such a bitch. That's the best. That's what makes that death awesome. Like, those his last words. But when she shot him up, I thought, bullshit, you didn't kill him. You didn't kill him. But supposedly she did. And that is the most bullshit way Chucky has ever died. I mean, like, when you think that's the way he kind of died in the first movie, that didn't work. Come on. And then when we get over to where the detective finds out that they, you know, Jesse and Jade are not the killers, and then he goes over to Tiffany's body, and then she is in labor. She has a baby, and that leaves an opening to a sequel. You think it's going to be a really dark sequel, but it's just, man. The only best part that came out of that idea that they were going with is the way this movie ended. And when we get to that next movie, so with that all being said, this movie was really, really fun. It was like, I enjoyed it. I had no doubt that I was going to enjoy this movie because I enjoyed the other three. But I'd say I enjoyed this one just a lot more than Child's Play 2 and 3, because it has a darker tone, and it's just more entertaining. But with that all being said, this gets 4.5 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, 4.5 chair spins. So yeah, now we're on to the abomination of the franchise in my next video. So if you guys enjoyed my review for this movie, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out, y'all.